Howdy folks, AJ coming at you again, your resident vintage gamer. And I wanted to start off this video by saying thank you to all my new subscribers. I apparently my video on my LucasArts tribute video that I did yesterday was very well received. I picked up over 30 subscribers, and that doesn't sound like, for somebody like, Boogie2988 or, Total Biscuit or anybody like that, that doesn't sound, that's nothing. They gain and lose that in an hour, But for me, who had 50 total subscribers before yesterday, that's like a metric ass load. So, anyway, so welcome to all my new subscribers, and thank you for subbing and commenting and all the stuff that you guys did yesterday and all that. So, leading into today's video, I just wanted to say that up until yesterday, there was kind of a lapse in my videos because I had to go out of town for some personal stuff. I actually went to Los Angeles, and I scored a couple of things while I was down there. One was one of our closest friends who she didn't know about my channel or anything like that. So I was explaining it to her about what I do my videos on and all that, and she said, "Oh, well, you ought to read this book that I read, it's called Ready Player One." And some of you might have already known about it or read it or whatever, but I'd never heard of it. And apparently, I could have written this book because basically the main storyline in this book is about a guy who is about my age who had created this massive online role-playing game called Oasis, and which was and this is set in the future, but apparently this guy had created this game called Oasis, and it was like the WoW killer. It was like the World of Warcraft killer, and it became all-encompassing. Everybody played it, and it expanded to all different, facets of life and things like that. And so anyway, he becomes a multi-billionaire, and he ends up that he dies, and he's trying to figure out who he's going to leave his money to because he doesn't have any heirs. And so he has designed in predicting his own death and knowing that it's coming, he had designed kind of a scavenger hunt type of a deal within the game that he created, Oasis. And he also ends up publishing after he dies, posthumously. He has whoever's left to take care of his affairs has him publish a video describing the scavenger hunt, and then a manifesto kind of a thing, like a 1,000-page journal of journals that he's kept all his life. And in that journal, he references all this stuff from the 80s, because he grew up in it just like I did. He grew up in the 80s, and he's referencing, and of course video games were the number one thing that was his main influence. He ended up making this game, and he references all these great games he used to play, Asteroids and Pac-Man and Defender and all that, and then going into the console stuff, stuff like Pitfall and that kind of stuff, the old, the game Adventure, for Atari 2600, and those types of things. And they're all and then it gets into TV shows from the 80s and music from the 80s and all that. And you kind of get the picture. So basically, somebody who's been watching my videos from the beginning, that's the same shit that I reference all the time. And so someone would think, well, maybe I read this book and then decided to start a channel about 80s, old, gamers do vintage gaming stuff and pop 80s pop culture and all that. Well, I'd never heard of this thing until last week. So there's a good old coinkydink for you there. But anyway, so I've started reading this thing, and it's eerily similar as to my interest as to the main storyline in this book. And anybody that's a gamer would love this book because it's an adventure where the main character in here is trying to solve the riddle, and whoever ultimately solves it will get this guy's fortunes, this multi-billionaire fortune, you know, that he had no one else to leave it to. Whoever solves the scavenger hunt will get that, you know. So anyway, so I'm only in, you know, a couple of chapters, and it's fantastic. And I just thought it was kind of funny because I'll read one quick thing to you guys. At chapter 1, the very beginning of chapter 1, there's a quote from that guy's manifesto that I was telling you about that he had left behind. And there's a quote saying, "Being human totally sucks most of the time. Video games are the only thing that makes life bearable." And I've probably actually said that before at some point where people have pissed me off and I had a bad day and I was like, I hate people, you know, and then come home and want to play a video game and just kind of escape from everything. I'm almost sure damn near word for word I've said that before, but, you know, who knows. So, anyway, that's that book. I recommend it if you're a gamer at all. I think you'll like it. The other thing is, because I like to talk about beer on this channel too, is I can't get this beer here in Utah. They don't ship it here. It's from Louisiana, and I'm wearing the shirt, Abita Beer. I got this shirt at the brewery when I went to New Orleans. Took a side trip, went to and got the whole behind the scenes thing. Great brewery, and this is my favorite American beer, Abita Amber, and it's made in Abita Springs, Louisiana, and it's as they call it. It is a Munich-style lager brewed with pale and caramel malts and German pearl hops. And it's kind of like a brown ale, and it is absolutely delicious. There's other beers. They have much better known beer called Turbo Dog that a lot of people have heard of. It's more popular than this is, and it's a dark beer. Almost like a porter, and it's much more popular than this, but I like this better, and so there you go. The only reason I'm not drinking it right now is because the wife's not home, and as I've said in previous videos, when my wife's not home, when she's at work or whatever, I don't drink, just in case she had a problem, got into a car accident on the way home or something like that, and I want to be able to get in my vehicle and go to the rescue or whatever. And I don't want to be in a situation where I have to say, "Oh, I've been drinking, can't come help you." That's not as far as I'm concerned, that's not a very responsible thing to do. So, but rest assured, the minute she gets home, there you go. So, anyway, that's it on the beer. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about was in my LucasArts tribute video yesterday, I showed some stuff off and all that, and I had forgotten that I actually had a collector's edition of Jedi Outcast back in the day, and I keep this right here on my desk. This came in the collector's edition, and it's a little miniature lightsaber. And what's really cool about this is, when that game came out and I got the collector's edition and everything, backlit keyboards were not prevalent at all. And as a matter of fact, and I have no way to prove this, I thought of backlit keyboards way before they were ever realized. I was screaming about it when Doom was out and Quake, because those are games that were meant to scare you and everything else, and you want to play them in the dark to enhance the immersion and everything else. But you couldn't do it because you couldn't see your keys. So, I mean, I guess some people are good enough to where they can remember every single key, but every once in a while, you got to look down for one reason or another, and you didn't have a backlit keyboard. And so I thought about that years before it actually became a reality. Of course, I got no way to prove it, but anyway, so before that, this was kind of handy to keep by the computer, so that if I was in the middle of something, or let's say I had to tab out of a game, to do something, answer a text, not a text, a chat, someone, sending you a chat or something like that, an IM, I could just grab this and go like that, and then, hit my keys, boom, and be done with it. It was kind of handy. So anyway, just thought that was a neat little archival item to show off for this video. We're hitting at 10 minutes. Good place to stop. Thanks again, all my new subs and everybody. Hope to see you soon. Comment below, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. And we will catch you on the flip side.